I'm hitting a Witcher 3 session.
Wounded and tired, Ciri collapsed in the swamp. Some peasants found her and took her to the Baron, Valen's self-appointed ruler. Warlord took the young woman in, had her nursed back to health, then sent her on her way to Novigrad.
No Trump State of the Union address tonight to get in the way. The wind is picking up outside, gusting maybe high 40 miles an hour. In the hours ahead.
Ow!
Tea. Out the way. Are you even taking the controls yet? Light off. When you get a chance, win a unique card from Lambert. That's if he's there. Where the heck is Lambert?
Strangers, no strangers.
Don't know where Lambert is. Fist of Fury.
Once there was a little... Ribbity rock, rock, ribbity rock.
Move it!
Ooh!
Well, another freak. Come on, Roach.
Got a monster under my bed. Will you help?
Oh,
What's up?
I serve the eternal fire.
Well, well, another freak.
What the streets respect with
Go, go.
Mages have set the hunter's house aflame. They seek to burn the city down. Behave, Witcher.
You are a vulgar one. I can see it in your face.
Giddy up. Slower.
Hide the wenches. Witches come on.
So pale of you.
With you! You'll squirt your kidneys! Capital of
You call this living, Richard? Best not cause any trouble at the inn. I'm thinking they're not parent to you.
Name's Geralt.
Patty Gruber. I'm a bookie. I trust you're here to fight.
What can you tell me about these fights?
Bouts are held in Novigrad, the Skellige Isles, and in Velen. Each region has its champion, but to face the said champion, you must first defeat 3 other contenders in that region. Defeat the champions of Velen, Skellige, and Novigrad, and you will win the prestigious title of Champion of Champions.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Hear that? A fight at last! Our champion, Archibald O'Neill, to face Geralt! Fight!
Who kisses your ass today will bite it tomorrow.
Hey, this guy's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new champion! The man who dethroned Archibald O'Neill! Bravo to Geralt! A beautiful bout!
Want to be crowned the best in Novigrad. Who do I gotta fight?
Durden the Tailor fights every night in the outskirts where the non-humans have settled. I expect model behavior scan.
White head like a miller's son.
Good sir, have mercy! Me,
Another
a witch!
traitor in from
My
Temeria.
souls is all for his son.
It's a waste of words.
Here we go.
Hey, look! This wayfarer wants to fight
So,
Durden
we
the
mint,
Tailor.
they said. It'll pay off, they said.
Kick him! The Tailor cut out to remain champion.
No monsters here,
We
just
will soon
humans.
know.
Why don't you all is?
Hide the wenches, witch! Ah, we've been expecting you. We're already taking bets.
You've been weighed, you've been measured, and you've been found scrawny. In what world could you possibly defeat me?
The newcomer may seem all skin and bones, but remember, he defeated the Sergeant to the Bloody Baron of Velen.
This elf's a dick. That been the case with all champions of Novigrad?
No, I am the first. Do you know why they call me the Tailor? It began after I gutted some men with these very hands.
I knew that was gonna be a shitty story. Came here to fight the Tailor, so let's do this.
Novigraders, one and all, a momentous occurrence. Before us in just minutes, Geralt of Rivia will face the Tailor.
Come here, bitch. Uncle Durden wants to sew you a new face.
Champion no more. Henceforth, the title belongs to the Drifter. If you've not had your fill of slapabouts just yet, you'll find other eager challengers in Velen and Skellige.
It stinks of burnt flesh. Can they not burn those pyres beyond the city walls?
My mummy says hello.
Good, sir.
Still got secondary quests going. But yeah, there's no marker.
You wouldn't be so pale if you ate onions and oil.
Looking for what, Master Witcher?
Looking for a bruising? No loitering round here. Got my eye on you.
The plague. Oh, I've had enough of living.
Degeneracy, downfall of civilization, moral decay.
How are things, Dudu?
So, I suppose. Might have been days in the past when I'd have said, wonderful. But I can't complain. I'm in one piece. Not bound to a stake atop a pyre.
Dudu, tell me. The halfling Biberveld goes from being a prosperous merchant to being a pauper. How?
Prefer the long version or the short?
Short, please.
The war.
I was under the impression merchants grow fat on wars.
Some do, but I've a serious personality flaw. I'm honest. I could not reap profits from the suffering of others. I paid taxes. I never cooked my books. And then a ship full of my goods sank. I pulled through somehow, but then a second fell prey to Skelligan raiders, rendering me insolvent. When inflation hit and interest rates rose, I, at long last, fell.
Gotta admit, your Menga, it's a brilliant impersonation.
Don't remind me. I'm rather disgusted.
Come on, he wasn't all out terrible.
You understand nothing. A Doppler assumes more than a man's external appearance. I've learnt what a scoundrel had knocking about in his head. Once I became him, not an hour passed before I felt the urge to break a sorceress's fingers. After 2, I caught myself lusting to impale someone, and immediately after that, it hit me. The paranoid fear of a Doppler conspiracy.
Ever considered leaving? Forgetting Novigrad altogether?
What for? To pass from the frying pan into the fire? The war's not yet crept here. Famine's not kicked at our door. Not that the future's looking rosy.
But you don't have to be human. Maybe you could try something else.
I've assumed many forms over the years, and in spite of all, life as a human has proven most interesting. After all, you humans rule the world.
Take care of yourself, Dudu.
Oh, those bigots haven't the cunning to strip me of this mask.
I need a rest.
Pour the watered down wine.
Hey,
Positively
I can't control what I inherit.
But you can control what you do with it.
I know.
Mama.
I know, which is exactly why I'm considering.
Oh, you're always considering. If it's not one thing, it's another. Let me know when you finally decide.
Hey there, handsome.
What was that about?
She spat in my face. Or might as well have. Called me a whoremonger and a witless hack. Can you imagine? Wit is my forte.
Gotta say, Priscilla's really growing on me.
Save it.
And why don't you save your pouting? Prove to her she's wrong.
Exactly what I plan to do. I've always dreamed of having my own cabaret. A bit of paint and plaster, and this place will do splendidly. Just one hitch. I need coin. So, if you happen to get a break between drowners and ekamajigs, maybe you can help an old friend out.
Maybe the Vivaldis would give you a loan. I'd vouch for you.
Funny you mention that. I went to see Vivaldi. Know what he said? Witchers are no good as guarantors. Risk of premature death is way too high. But I have another idea. I dated this girl once, Sophronia. That's a name if you can believe it. Has a merchant for a father, importer of spices from Zerrikania. And Daddy Dear would never refuse his daughter Dear a thing. We can borrow the coin from her.
Name rings a bell. Isn't this the woman you abandoned without saying a word? Stepped out for a bottle of wine, never to return?
You know, I bought that wine for a reason.
Long time ago, that.
Been away a while, sure. Which is why I need to draw on your authority. You've got some, you know. No matter...
Fine. Tell me what you want. Got a feeling you've a plan all cooked up.
Sophronia could still be holding a grudge after our unfortunate parting. But with a touch of help from you, I know she'll forgive me. And then give me that loan.
What's this help entail?
First of all, we need to borrow a dull sword from Madame Irina. One of her props. You know, the kind they use during performances? Get that, then meet me outside Sophronia's house.
Let's say I agree and go see Madame Irina. What'll you be doing in the meantime?
Something I have to finish. But I promise I'll do it before you come back with the sword. Then I'll tell you the rest.
Fine, but...
Geralt, The only butts in this plan will be the ones filling my seats. It'll work, you'll see. Get the sword from Madame Irina and meet me outside Sophronia's at sunset.
Old man Newman left me a gift last time.
What? He never given me nothing but floppy, did he?
If you don't know how to give, you can't receive.
Saying I know.
What's he schemed up this time?
No loitering round here.
Why not at your waist like everyone else?
You know the Ballad of Wanda, who stormed in Nilfgaard?
Your lady the bats are strapping the mug to the working man.
Oh,
Don't know who you're looking for, but you
Ah, so good to see you.
You and Dudu know each other well?
Yes, though he's never told me much about himself. He was a merchant once?
Mm-hmm. Dudu always had a penchant for enterprise. Probably too honest to succeed in Novigrad, though.
Precisely. I've told him countless times that no matter how many times he changes his appearance, the good in him will always emerge. Bloodthirsty tyrants and vicious assassins. He played them so poorly. That must be why. Whereas he always made for an excellent trusted servant or ghost of the old king.
Got a request. Need to borrow one of your props. One of the swords you use for stage battles.
My. Whatever do you need that for?
I don't know, but Dandelion claims it's essential.
Oh, yes. I suspected Master Dandelion might have a hand in this. I certainly hope you don't aim to compete with me. Voila.
Thanks. I'll try not to damage it. So long.
let us live, eh? Your lady the bats are strapping the mug to the working man.
Did you see those poor wretches who fled Velen?
Whoa! What a killer!
dusk.
Won't know no rain working on coffees.
Gotta meet him after dusk.
Greeting!
Need a trim. Think you can manage? So long.
sun's not here. Just wait.
Ah, finally made it. Listen, here's the plan. Sophronia loves adventure-filled romance novels. I can be a hero in her eyes if I can just save her from a bandit. I'll have her eating out of my hand, and there's no way she'll begrudge me that loan.
Want me to be the bandit?
Knew you'd see the sense in it right away.
Are you serious? That's your brilliant plan?
I never called. Brilliant. But any kind of plan is better than none. Written your lines already.
You've written what?
So you know what to say during the performance. Here. And your mask. Put it on. Sophronia can't recognize you.
But...
No time. Sophronia's coming. Stick to the plan. We'll meet at the Rosemary in the morning.
Stop right there.
What is this? Help! Save me!
Tremble, flaxen-haired wench. Bow before the Prince of Thieves.
Not so fast. Drop your sword, scoundrel. This is your first and last warning.
Dandelion!
'Tis I, though the scum of the city call me the Crimson Avenger.
No, not the Crimson Avenger.
Silence, vermin! You shall regret the day you were born.
Dandelion!
On guard!
I mean, Crimson Avenger!
You're better than I thought. I've been hit! Ow!
Quickly! He shan't get us there! Eternal fire, what do you want from us? Leave us be!
This rogue will soon run off. I'm sure of it. He wouldn't chance getting caught by the guards. Would he?
Taking the mask off.
Call them! You know, the guards!
Move on.
So, how'd it go with this thing? I was faffing a bit up minding my own business when suddenly up he pops on the heels.
Got my eye on you, white one.
Got a meeting in the morning, so I wait.
What are you doing? Not enough time already.
Just hopped out for a smoke.
He's still arguing.
There's been a misunderstanding. You're here too early.
We agreed to meet today, so we've come today. Supplies are all hauled in and the crew's raring to work. We'll start just as soon as our lovely directress gets round to deciding on the decoration.
But Dandelion doesn't even have the coin to pay you.
Turns out he does now, or soon will. At any rate, he's working on it.
See, it's all peachy. So will you finally decide what style you want for this interior?
What are our choices?
Master Dandelion said he was torn between boudoir style and theatre decor. Promised to let us know his choice soon as we arrived. Now we're here, but no decision's been made. And the lady's horribly surprised she's to choose. Though apparently this whole renovation's for her sake.
For me?
Well, it's not for me. Now, would you please decide where I bust a vessel?
I've no idea what Dandelion would like. Geralt, you've known him longer. Say something.
Boudoir style.
Boudoir seems like a better fit for cabaret. Just don't go overboard on stuffed upholstery.
A wonderful choice it is. At last. Gentlemen, you're done lollygagging. Get to work.
Well, well. Guess this cabaret's the real thing.
Ever since Dandelion inherited this place, he's talked about it constantly. I just never expected him to take action. And so quickly.
Who knows? Might even settle down now. He'll have to keep an eye on the business. Who would have known?
Despite what people say about him, Dandelion approaches life very rationally.
We talking about the same Dandelion? Man who loses a fortune worth half of Novigrad in one night?
Dandelion can also be responsible. He always pays anyone who works for him on time, and he's never missed a performance.
Sure hope your opening won't be the first. He's still not here.
Well, he said as soon as he got the coin, he'd go see Polly, our choreographer. She's missed the last few rehearsals. I certainly hope he's not gotten into trouble.
Anything's possible with Dandelion. Let me see if I can't find him.
Fucking amazing. I'd give you a discount for heroic deeds, but the madam, well, no.
The Butcher of Babakin.
Trouble?
No lollygagging. The eternal fire will guide us.
It only ever rains.
Hey, you! Yes, you! You got water! Everything all right? Open up!
What's the ruckus about?
Polly and her half-brained fiancé. They're fighting. She's the only one in this town who knows anything about choreography, and that lummox won't let her work for me. Hold on. What are you doing here? We were gonna meet at the Rosemary.
We were, but you didn't show. Priscilla started to worry, so I came to see how you were doing.
Priscilla started worrying about me? That's so nice!
Less for her than for you, I'm sure. So let's get back.
Did you not hear what's going on in there? We've gotta help Polly. Why do beautiful women always end up with such dicks?
No idea. Stand back. I'll break the door down.
Wait! Do we have to destroy her house? She keeps a spare key around here somewhere.
How would you know she keeps a spare key around here?
It's not as if we started working together yesterday. Before Polly joined forces with Hubio...
You'd visit her? Often?
I'd hide out here while Priscilla and Polly rehearsed at the Rosemary in Time. They worked on the dance numbers. I composed.
So, Polly's not one of your...
I never mix business and pleasure.
The one exception being Priscilla.
Who you were just saying is worried about us. So enough of the chatter, and start looking.
Fine. Let's find the key.
Oh, look.
Find anything?
Not here. Not here. Ah, the key.
Damn it.
devil's this? Get out of my house!
Watch it, and leave the woman alone.
What the... She's my betrothed.
But I'm not your property.
I love her. I'll not let her sway her ass in his brothel.
Whoa, slow down there a minute. This is clearly one gigantic misunderstanding. One I can clear up in the blink of an eye.
Shove your excuses up your ass. Sod off, or I'll split your skull.
My friend asked you nicely, so please be courteous in return and hear him out, or we'll settle this another way.
All right, talk.
Hubio, right? Polly's told me so much about you. She said you're erudite and have an open mind.
You said that? Well, there's a truth to it. My mind's the open salt, but its open saltedness ends when my betrothed starts wagging her ass around brothels. Get out of here, both of yous. Polly's not going anywhere.
Let him finish. There's no brothel involved.
You see, friend, Geralt just hit the nail on the head. For what you have there is the old publicity placard.
Old?
Very. From a time when my establishment was under different management. I, however, would never let any indecency take place in my cabaret. My very reputation precludes it.
So, what's all this about?
Your betrothed is a first-class artiste, and I want to offer her a position worthy of her talents. She's to be my choreographer, and that in turn means she'll receive a share of the proceeds from every performance she choreographs.
You mean to say... coin?
And fame. No flirting required. You have my word.
Suppose... in that case...
I knew you'd agree.
It's settled then. See you at the Rosemary, Polly.
Well, I'm off.
I'll catch up to you. Whew. Never expected that to go so well.
You handled it well, Dandelion. Man was body in your hands once you called him erudite.
In negotiation, as in combat, the key is to find your opponent's weak spot and exploit it to the hilt.
So, time to head back?
I've still got to stop by Rotlick's. Commissioned some new placards from him a while ago, but Hubio came across the old version. Plowing artists got some serious explaining to do.
Who's Rotlick?
Never heard of him? Hank Rotlick, famous portrait artist?
Commissioned a portrait artist to paint your placards?
Henry's an old friend, needed the coin. And I decided we needed new placards to promote the opening performance. Seats won't fill themselves, you know.
I'll go see Rotlick. You head back to the Rosemary, or Priscilla will have my head.
Really? You'd go?
No, said that for the hell of...
Portside.
See you soon.
Got my eye on you, white one.
Ah! And it's raining again.
My thoughts.
Looking for Rotlick.
You ain't alone. Damn halfling's in debt to half the city, but I'm here to scrape mine before the carcass is picked clean.
There's not enough for everyone, so bugger off. Feeding time's first come, first served.
Take what you want. I'm just here for some placards.
You deaf? Didn't you hear me? This is all mine now. Fuck off, freak.
Right.
And here I thought we'd resolve this peacefully.
You'll regret this, mutant. Tell me what you want, damn it!
Placards.
There ain't no ploughing placards here.
And Rotlick, where's he?
Same place as always. Vehicle Bud Estate, losing his last crowns at the races.
See? Wasn't that easy? Could have said so right away.
Raining inside. Oh. So I gotta head out there. Vegelbud residence.
Must like the rain, that one.
I found a solid hidden around right in the corner. There.
The war
looks of fuss over lots of rain.
Dust. Can't get to that signpost.
By order of the hierarch, whosoever conceals a blaze in their home
No, not there.
Gods and men, dumbstruck with awe, behold!
Another race.
Oh, wrong person. That's not good.
Is there a land where I might find more of your kind? Well, Rotlick, seems you're a considerable psalm in the red, but you shan't back out on that account, eh?
Won't have much of a choice before long.
Come now, old sport. We can't allow that. Who'd I wager with then, eh?
Listen, here's what we'll do. You'll make one more bet. If you win, I'll pay your debts and they'll continue playing. What do you say?
And if I lose?
One worry at a time, old chum. Well, I'll have to place my bet. I've got a cold.
You Rotlick?
Henri Rotlick, artist, painter, debtor, and martyr to my art. At your service.
Dandelion sent me.
Oh, yes. Tell him his placards are done and safely hidden away. Yet, alas, I cannot fetch them, as a group of angry creditors has seized my home.
Think I might have run into one of them.
Then you know my predicament. And now, Count de Louverton has offered me the chance to win it all back. I'm to wager on a race.
Generous. Not just anybody could afford to do that.
De Louverton is not just anybody. He's Duke Sam's youngest son. Sam of the well-known family of gem dealers. One debt more or less makes little difference to him.
What's there to worry about? This is your chance to settle up, get a clean slate.
We've had a spell of bad luck lately. Should I agree to de Louverton's offer and lose, I shall be in bondage to him for all time.
I just want those placards. You'll have to live without his placards. Pay the debt.
Let me pay off your debt. No strings attached.
Thank you. I never expected this. May I ask to what I owe this generosity?
Let's just say I like to do a good deed from time to time. Can we get those placards now?
I'll bring them to the Rosemary in time, just as soon as I settle my obligations.
Fine. See you there.
Captured and displayed in the sideshow of the circus. Well, it would be quite profitable.
Come on, Roach.
Just hope it don't come down hard.
No loitering round here.
Faster.
I hear a carload, isn't it?
You go your way, I'll go mine.
Lingering like flies round here.
Oh, it's him.
Greetings.
Glad to take a glance.
Of course, please do.
I might want to get rid of I've still got that equipped. What the?
So long.
Greetings.
Glad.
Take these off me.
So long.
You flee to Maria too?
Winds howling.
He was sweating like a swine in that jacket.
Washed your hair lately?
Got streets respect, Witcher.
We start in G major, and
I've told you, the piece is sad, melancholy. It needs a minor key.
But I wanted
to ruin everything. We'll start in E minor.
Well, well. See, the crew's been hard at work. Not bad.
No, not all. But I'd imagine something more, more theatrical. What about Rotlick? Did you get the placards?
Rotlick said he'd bring them on his own. Should be here soon.
Great! The best way I can think of to promote the Chameleon.
What about choreography? Prepared anything special for the opening?
We haven't. But Polly has. She's priceless. Came in and brought the girls in line before I could say knickers. Premier will have the audience on their feet, on their knees, both at the same time.
Never mentioned wanting to change the name.
Rosemary in Time wasn't all bad, but it conjured images of Temerian cuisine served by waitresses in peasant garb. Chameleon's a lot better for a cabaret, apart from which it emphasizes that the place has undergone a transformation. Just a better ring to it all round.
Guess everything's ready. So when's the opening?
Soon. We start our dress rehearsal in an hour. I just need to nip back home for my dress.
Thanks for everything.
Don't mention it.
Seems my cabaret dreams are about to come true. So, around to celebrate? I'm buying.
Why not?
That's my boy. The foreman mentioned he saw you and Priscilla talking.
He's all right.
That's strange.
And she say anything about me?
Uh-huh. She said you've gained some weight, and that you should bathe more often.
Very funny, Geralt. Shove it.
Well, well. Never thought I'd live to see the day. Dandelion living in monogamy.
I've always been monogamous. Well, near enough. I just changed muses often.
Priscilla, another one for your collection?
No, she's its crowning glory.
One thing's eating me. How do you manage to get the loan from Sophronia?
Ugh, wasn't easy. She got so excited about our performance, I had to read to her for 4 hours.
You mean...
Are you crazy? She's late, of course. She knew how important this night was to me.
Of course she did.
Check something.
Probably just making herself gorgeous. Takes time, you know.
Yeah.
So it's true. A woman's vanity knows no bounds.
Ask the Dandelion! Priscilla, she's...
What? Speak, man!
She's badly hurt. Been attacked. They took her to Vulmerius Hospital.
Attacked? She's hurt? Geralt, come with me, please.
Of course. Let's go.
Gods. Priscilla. Is she gonna live?
I'd say that's certain. Her condition's critical but stable. Beg your pardon, but you are a relative?
Relative? No, a friend. A very close friend.
Dandelion, correct? She uttered the name in her few moments of lucidity. I am Joachim von Gratz, head of surgery. Until recently, a lecturer at Oxenfurt Academy.
Enough of the courtesies. What are her injuries, besides her eye?
A concussion, cranial swelling, incision into her larynx, and scalding inside the throat and esophagus.
She won't be seen.
Clearly someone forced her to imbibe a caustic fluid.
Who could have done this?
That I do not know. I do, however, know she is not the perpetrator's first victim.
How can you know that?
I've seen wounds like this. They're not the kind one would forget, don't you agree? In fact, just this week a corpse turned up in the morgue with similar injuries. And no heart.
No heart? You mean that might have happened to Priscilla? Is someone looking into this?
This is Novigrad. Only the innocent burn here.
Geralt, I know I owe you 100 times over, but I need to ask you another favor. Find the bastard who did this. Find him. And kill him.
Don't need any convincing. Come on, Dandelion. Let's think about what we can do.
I would suggest examining the previous victim's corpse. It has yet to be autopsied. Doing so could very well provide some clues. No need to look astonished, gentlemen. As a surgeon, I know the importance of preventive medicine. Rather than wait for this maniac to strike again, I'd prefer to excise him. Not unlike a tumor.
Think they'll let me into the morgue?
By the main entrance, certainly not. But you can also get inside through the sewers.
The sewers? Travel them often, Doctor?
As often as required for, the pursuit of preventive medicine.
Alternative treatments. Aggressive ones, I'm guessing.
We can discuss this en route. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Ready and intrigued. I'll get whoever did this, Dandelion. Even if it's Hierarch Hemmelfart himself.
Thanks.
You lead.
So, preventive medicine you practice in the sewers. What's that about?
Think. Hear that?
Been hearing it for a while. Draw your weapon.
Insolent fool!
Where are you?
How you like that silver?
God damn the frickin'... Is he hitting them?
Hey! Help! Help!
How's it look? Give it to me straight, no sugarcoating.
Her wounds will heal, but it's her voice that concerns me. Surely you understand what a terrible blow that would be to a Trobreitz. Enough to strip her of the will to live.
Any remedy for that?
I fear only your friend Dandelion can be of help on that count. Take the ladder. This is the place. Come, the quicker we take care of this, the better.
Why? Got somewhere to be?
Someone might disturb us. The coroner, for example. Or Reverend Nathaniel Pastodi. Very well. We seek the corpse of a dwarven woodcarver.
You're not going to wait for the loot.
Human. Wrong body type. Looks like necrophage has got to this one. Human. Wrong body type. Let's keep looking. This isn't it.
Such a dumb place.
Calluses on the fingers, sawdust in the beard, clothes sticky with sap. Must be our dwarf.
Excellent. I trust you don't grow weak in the knees at the sight of blood?
Not a bit. Start the autopsy.
Where?
Head.
Let's look at his head. Hair smells like it's burnt, like he was in a fire.
Notice anything else? That his eyes have been scooped out, for instance?
See this? Incision made into the voice box.
Indeed, so thin as to be nearly unnoticeable.
A small, extremely sharp instrument. Scalpel.
But why? The wound is too small to bleed, and there are signs of swelling. The murderer... I believe he performed a tracheotomy, so the victim wouldn't die too soon.
Let's examine the mouth. Burns, blisters.
Just like Priscilla's.
Those burn marks I see in his eye sockets.
Yes, and some grey dust. Ash, it seems. Very fine.
Murderer gouged out his eyes, then put burning coals in the sockets.
So it seems. Looking at the wounds, it appears our woodcarver was still alive when it happened.
Let's examine his torso.
What have we here? Deep wound on the left side of his rib cage, and a scar the length of his stomach.
Open the abdominal cavity.
Due warning, it will stink of rot.
Once fought a Zoogle up to my waist in sewage, so I doubt... Wait. Smells not rot.
Formaldehyde. A medical novelty. Heavily diluted, it's remarkable at preserving organic tissue. In stronger proportions, it's more destructive than acid.
Explains why there's no smell of decay, and why his throat's scalded. Look at the scar. Wounds long and thin, an incision, but the edges are ragged.
Means nothing. Look, no swelling, no bruises. An old injury, perhaps an accident in the workplace?
Let's examine the chest wound. Yeah, heart carved out, wound cauterized.
Wait a minute, there's something else.
An egg from an amphibian. A salamander? Scorched but intact.
I attended some lectures in herpetology as a student. Afraid I don't recall any amphibians that would lay eggs in corpses. So either Professor Cochrane was deeply mistaken, or this is our murderer's doing.
Look at his hands. These welts. Rope burns, right? He was tied up.
I'd expect so. No one could sit through such torture unless bound.
Speaking from experience?
Yes, that of a victim. Spent a year in the dungeons of Tretogor. Long story.
Some other time, maybe. See the callus? Our dwarf wore a ring, but someone took it off him. See anything interesting on his legs?
His right foot. The ankle swollen, toenails broken. He clearly kicked something very hard. Right before he kicked the bucket.
Doesn't strike me as the right time for jokes.
Apologies. We surgeons, we've a different sensibility.
Mm-hmm. And a different sense of humor. His genitals. We ought to inspect those.
I sincerely doubt they bear any relation to the matter.
We'll see. Pull down his trousers and... shit.
Syphilis, actually. Early stages. No sign of diffusion.
Think there could be a connection?
Only as the killer's potential motivation.
All right. Think I know enough.
Enlighten me, please, because I've still no notion what this is about. What the motive might have been.
It's some kind of sick ritual. You saw it. Burns in the eye sockets, cavity where the heart should be, scalding liquid, all centering on warmth, heat, fire.
A fire eternal.
It's a lead worth following. Any idea what his name was?
Fabian Meyer. And I'm Hubert Reich, the coroner. I've come to perform the autopsy, but I see you've done it for me, Joachim. As always, you interfere where you're neither needed nor wanted. Drag others into trouble in the process. Who is this?
A student. Lifelong learner. Got a couple questions for you.
Very well, speak. But be quick. Reverend Nathaniel has come by for an inspection. He'll be here shortly.
Woodcarver's body. Where was it found? It's important.
Plan to investigate? Exciting. He died in his workshop south of the Market Square, just beside the gate to Far Corners. That poor Trebyritz was attacked there. City's abuzz about it. But the woodcarver, Eustace the corpse collector, brought us the body. You should speak to him. Saw him just around the corner near... Oh, greetings, Your Reverence.
Who are these people? I believe I made it clear no one's to be allowed in, under any circumstances.
You did, but they're friends of the deceased. Here to collect the body.
Out of the question. Show them out at once.
As Your Reverence wishes. Gentlemen, follow me. You shall leave via another route.
Why do you cover for us?
I was covering my own arse. If Reverend Nathaniel had learned someone had entered the morgue, then cut open a corpse without his permission, I'd be in deep trouble. But you didn't give that a thought, did you, Joachim? As ever. Well, while I don't approve of your willfulness, I also wish to see this murderer hang. So, should I learn anything new related to this case, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Might have told me you know the coroner. We could have skipped the trip through the sewers.
I know him, thus I avoid him. I've said enough on the subject.
Don't aim to press you.
Thank you. I've nothing to hide. It's just an old wound, unhealed as yet. What will you do now?
Plenty of leads. Woodcarver's workshop, the corpse collector who found him, alley where Priscilla was attacked. Got work to do.
As do I. At the hospital. I must return there. But I shall keep my fingers crossed.
And I'll keep my eye on you.
We got work to do, but next time. So this is the end of Witcher session for today. See you next time.